So, like a phoenix, I have risen from the ashes of YouTube burnout, with a new film stock in my hand. Let's fix this. That's more like it. Hi, I'm Bon. Welcome to my little space online. It's been a hot minute, like 7 months, but I'm back because the good folks over at Graination, my go-to film lab here in Toronto, handed me an early roll of the Harman Phoenix 200 version 2. And if there's one thing that can drag me out of my hiatus, it's a quirky color film and an excuse to use my film camera. If you were around when the original Phoenix dropped in late 2023, you'll probably remember that it was spicy. High contrast, nuclear reds, grain you could exfoliate with, and yet charming. I reviewed it. I liked that film. Anyways, Graination handed me this new version of the film and just said, have fun. It was a total mystery to me. I didn't know anything about the film besides that it's a color film and that it's ISO 200. I didn't even know what I was gonna shoot with it. I just loaded it into my Hasselblad and just had fun. So this was a true blind test. I had no idea what the colors would be like, how it would handle low light, grain, nothing. And honestly, that made it way more fun. After shooting the film, I dropped it off at Graination, who also developed and scanned it for me. Thanks again to the whole crew, y'all are the best. The shoot itself was super chill, it was just me and my friends, Guy and Bianca, hanging out in my room, playing with light, fabric, and some spiffy butterfly clips that I just happen to own. Don't ask why. It's just normal Friday night things. I shot everything on my Hasselblad 500cm with a Zeiss planar 80mm f2.8. And these are what came out of the roll. At least the good ones. Lighting wise, I used a mix of RGB LEDs set to red and a daylight balanced light box. I honestly think that I might have pushed the film a little bit too far with how dim it was in the room, but honestly, I think it handled it pretty well. I mean, look at these highlights. The glow is stunning. And it actually handled shadows way better than I expected. The colors feel cleaner than the last version, but still punchy. Like, look at this red. Juicy. And this is artificial lighting, y'all. I'm sure the colors would look even better if you shoot this in daylight. As Harman probably intended. Sorry. I actually dialed back the saturation a bit in post, just slightly. But here's some before and after so you can see how the unedited scans came out from Graination. And yep, the grain is still here. It's definitely not trying to be portrait. Love it. Like I said in my previous video, we don't need another portrait. I'd prefer it that the new film stocks get their own unique characters. You know what I mean? Anyways, compared to the first version, the grain on this new film feels a little bit more elegant, less chaotic. Granted, I also just shot the first one on 35mm, so it's smaller. This is 120, so this isn't really a good comparison of the grain. Don't quote me on that. Also, I shot most of these wide open at f2.8 with shutter speeds around 1/8 to 1/15 of a second. So if some of the photos look soft, that's probably me and not the film. Shout out to Guy for staying still like an absolute pro, and Bianca, who was the real MVP behind the scenes. Can we try the red side, please? Ooh, yeah, I like this one. Let's do red. Anyways, I'm kind of obsessed with how these turned out. What do you think? Leave a comment. Also, I'll be posting these on my Instagram at bonsees if you're interested. Yeah, say hi. I'm always on there. So yeah, Harman Phoenix 200 version 2. I can definitely see the incremental improvements that Harman made to this film, so kudos to them. But I like that it's still a little wild and unique, you know? It's like it retained the personality of the original, just with a new skincare routine. The fuck? Now, I know I didn't really use this film as intended. It's ISO 200, so probably meant for sunny outdoors or just better lighting in general. But I'm gonna leave the proper testing to the bigger YouTubers out there. Go watch them. I'm sure someone's gonna make a video that compares the old version to the new version, or maybe test its latitude by like under and overexposing. And those are gonna be way more informative than this video. But if you are also planning on doing a random ass moody portrait session in the bedroom,
Bruh.
that sounds wrong. Well, now you know how this film performs in that situation. So yeah. Anyways, big thanks again to Graination for the early roll and scans. The film launches today, July 16th, 2025, so check your favorite film lab or local store if you want to cop a few. And hey, if you made it this far, thanks for sticking around. I missed you. Let me know what you think. Would you shoot this film? What would you shoot with it? I don't know. Or just say hi. I'm around again, sort of. So, cheers.